doing this, kind of got into this a little bit late. I'd already started. I pulled the center console out. There's a few videos on how to do that, so it's not really a huge deal. But these two spots here and here, there's some regular Phillips screws that go in there. The two bolts that hold this down, these are 8mm, and then on the back for these two tabs, if you can see, where's my finger? Right here. There's here, and this one on this side, those are 10mm. So I'll show basically putting these back in. I'll kind of do it in reverse order, but what we're doing is installing this from, I'll do it the right way, HP tuners. So those of you know, Loki is a 2019 Challenger Scat Pack. So I have a Diablo Sport tuner in here now, but I'm having some issues, and I like just having the laptop and the data that I can get from the HP tuners. So I'm going to switch to that. So I've got the bypass cable, and basically you have to pull the whole center console out so that you can get to these up underneath it here. So once you get the console pulled out, you can see these two screws. There's one here and here. That's where the mount, or that's where the box is mounted that these plug into. So I had to pull, I wasn't sure which one was what, so I got so that I could pull these out. And then essentially you plug the small one back in where it goes. And it's really kind of hard. I'm old and fat, and it's hard for me to get in there so that I can do this. So I have to kind of do it by feel. So plug that in. And these are different. So there's a couple of videos where they're doing it in the Challenger, and the Challenger goes in a different spot. The Challenger, I think, would probably be easier because the Challenger, or sorry, the Charger rather, the panel is mounted, that box is mounted here. So pull this out, there's a couple screws here, drop this panel down, and it's mounted kind of in here on the inside of this. So for the Charger, like I said, the Charger might be a little easier because, like I said, you just pop that off. Most everybody knows what's under that. There's two screws here. Drop this panel down, and just on the inside of this here, that's where that panel's mounted, or the box rather, where that plugs into. On the Challengers, you get to basically disassemble the interior of the car. So I've got that plugged in here. So there's my security module, bypass module, whatever. Give me just a second. I'll put the phone down so that I can plug that other one in. But basically that plug, this plug here, I just need to plug it into there. So hold on just a sec. Okay, so when you plug it in, you'll definitely hear a solid like click, and that's how you'll know it's locked in. So there's that. That's done. And just tuck that back up out of the way. So I've got my ground, and these are all the wires for my nitrous. I'll give it a little more slack because there's a little snug. But if you haven't seen underneath it here, this is your air conditioner vent to run back to the back. Your shifter lockout or whatever, if you have issues. This is how a lot of folks are getting their car stolen, because you can bust that and that'll allow you to throw the car into neutral and they can drag it up and haul off with it. So there's the shifter, or the center console. So give me just a sec and I'm gonna kind of set that halfway in place. Okay, not really that big or that difficult, but this slides into place. Just make sure that these are all fed through when you're going to do this. So this, I'm going to do this on my phone instead of my GoPro because I don't have a light on the GoPro. So this sits like so here, and these are 8mm, and then right here there's two Phillips screws. So, and I kept all the stuff here in the center console so it was easy to get to. So just pop that in like so to start. That's number one. And then this one goes here. So, and then just Phillips screwdriver. I'm using that driver if you got one. Screwdriver works fine. Here. So, in order to pull this out, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, and a T25 star or Torx bit, whatever. And that's for when you do the shifter. But so those go in the 8mm here. It'd be way easier if I used a drill gun or a screw gun or whatever, but I'm kind of doing it the hard way, obviously. So there's that, and then this one. Start. And there are a couple places, I guess, that I've seen some on the internet, like different places on the internet, where they actually have a cover that will go over that so that you can't just pull out the coin tray and flip this up. But that's really all you gotta do is just, if you take the coin tray out, you can get right to this release, shifter release, spark release. Don't over tighten them. Just pull them down to like half a ugga dugga so that they're snug. Tuck that down out of the way, and then this one goes into the shifter. So this big plug goes in like so. And then there's a little here. Off there. And this one goes in like so. Carefully, don't force nothing. So that clicks in, so we're good there. This actually goes into the back of this. So set all that stuff in place. And you have to watch. This is the second time I've done that, and these guys come off of here. So I got like 100 of them from Amazon. They're not really expensive, so but just watch when you pull back, when you go to pop these, because they just pop right off. And I've got probably down inside of there, you can see it actually where it came off. Let's see if I can focus a little better. Maybe not, but kind of see that little flash of orange down there. That's where it fell off inside, and I'm not taking the whole thing apart to get to it. So let's grab one out of the little bag I got. I had a whole bunch of them in the trunk. So here's the clips that I was talking about. I got like 30 of them, or I don't know, in this bag here. 30 pieces. So yeah, like 30 pieces of them. And then basically when they come off, you just drop it in the center console again. It just clicks on like so. There you have it. Ta-da! So then, like I said, that one plug, it goes in the back of this, like so. You can hear that click. So that's where that goes. And then pull all your toys up to the center. Well, this is all the wiring for my nitrous switch panel that goes in like so in the center piece there. So pull all this so that I can get to it. Make sure that it's not to get in there. So there's that's not gonna work. The lights. Alright, so let's see. That was my missing one. This is my ground side. Oh, there it is. So you go through, and then once that's all done, that you hear that click, click. Make sure everything's out of the way, so I'm not clicking and hurting stuff. Like so. And then this clicks all in, all the little, you can hear all those little snaps clicking, and then that's right back. Ta-da! Now this is a little fun. So shifter, kind of debating. Not sure. I've seen a lot of stuff with the Barton. I kind of like that. I sort of like, you know, like the joke is about these things being a boat and this being like the boat throttle. So I kind of get a kick out of that too, but kind of debating. Not sure yet, but there's other things that I want to deal with first off. But so under the bottom of the shifter, if you can see that silver screw right there, that's where that's the 25 Torx bit. So when you've got this plug right here, this plug, that's where that goes. So do all this one-handed, and there goes the lights again. So there you go, there's that. So that clicked in, and then same thing, you've got those little red clips. Got to be careful with these things, because in this one, around the shifter is kind of a pain in the butt. That one is no lie. The big part is not really that hard to get out. You just need to make sure that you can either grab it here and pull, or get like a pry tool. And I've got another one here, a smaller one, or something like that. And then basically you can just pop it in here and work your way around and pop the clips out. You can start here. Most of the people that I've seen in the videos do it from here, and you just work your way around pulling it out. Originally, I'm trying to think, I did one, and the trim thing, don't do like I did. Don't be an idiot and go here around on the black, because there's this black trim. Make sure you're coming on the top side of it like so that you get underneath here. Not, you can see the little deal there where I kind of got underneath of that, but kind of debating. I like the carbon fiber look for the ones, but so that might be something that I do eventually too. All right, when it goes on, it's not, I mean, it slides on in there and it locks. So all right, and then you have to get underneath. They said you take your 225, and then underneath of here, you have to get under. This takes a little bit of finesse and finagling, but right about here is where that screws at. So you have to get under there and tighten it down, and that's what locks the shifter handle on. If you're doing like the Barton shifter thing, then basically you have to do the same thing, except you have to turn this over and actually separate the boot from the shifter. But if I get one, we'll take care of that at that point. But so give me just a minute, let me tighten this down. Alrighty, so that's tightened down. It's on there pretty good. So make sure I got my wires all pulled through. So I got on one side, and then same thing. You just, once everything's kind of where you want it and it's all good, then you just snap that all back into place. There's that. So that's all back and done. Little coin tray. Like I said, there's a couple places that make, because the coin tray obviously, and most of you guys know that they just pop right out, so you can get to this. And then some folks make a metal cover for that so that you can't just like steal a car. So next is get the 10mm screws, bolts. Sorry. I guess I don't know. I guess technically they're bolts, but 10mm are not really big. So. And then back here, you need to make sure that the seats are slid all the way back and lean back, and then that lines up pretty good, so it just goes in like so. There we go, get that started. And there you go, and then just about a half a ugga. And then you've got the covers and just snap into place. Like so. There you go. Have it done. It's dirty. There's that side. Well then, voila. And then it's just rinse and repeat on the other side. So same thing. See, it lines up pretty good. That goes in. Right. So. You're not going to want to look at the seat. Well, really, you probably don't even want to watch this part, but about half a ugga again. Grab the cover. Put it in the right way. Voila, all done. There you go. And then I'll do the wiring for this tomorrow, but that looks, once this is all wired up, that looks, where did I put it? There it goes. That looks really sexy in there. I like that. So there's that. So now I can use my HP tuner.